Hi, I'm Mike Miller. I hope you're having a great day. Thanks so much for watching. My guest today is an amazing artist, and she has done commissioned artist work, been hired by designers, does branding, teaches that and does that, and art based on narrative. I've enjoyed looking at her art very much, and I'm honored to have Liz London here today. Liz, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
I'm really impressed with your work.
Thank you very much.
You stay pretty busy, I guess.
I do. I primarily do commissions now for high-end retail, country clubs, and high-end hotels, things along that, all over the country. So I'm pretty busy. And then I'm doing some local work too.
Really?
Mm-hmm. With Northwood Country Club.
Oh, uh-huh.
I'm doing their tennis center, and I've got 12 pieces going in there in about 2 months.
Are these actually tennis-related pieces?
Yes,
really?
they are. Mm-hmm.
The branding is incorporated into the art, more or less?
Yes. What I do is I specialized in theme-based artworks. And so when I say that, that goes into branding. And what theme-based is I'll incorporate like a logo or some other design feature into the art, whether it be patterns in the fabric or like one of them in Arizona was named the Acacia Restaurant. It's at Marriott Camelback Resort.
Okay.
And acacia is from the acacia tree. And what I did with that was, I wanted to have, it's a 10-foot long piece.
Really?
And it's 5 foot high by 10 feet long.
Oh, okay.
And so it takes up a whole wall.
Wall, yeah.
And so what they wanted to do was have a lot of color. Well, I've always wanted to imagine what it was like laying down on the ground, looking up through the trees.
Mm-hmm.
So this piece has, you're laying on the ground looking up through the tree branches. And the acacia tree was what was lined in the Ark of the Covenant in the Bible.
Really?
Yeah. So I wanted to take something, and the Ark of the Covenant is what they marched around the walls of Jericho to bring the walls of Jericho down.
Really?
They used the sound emitting from the Ark of the Covenant. So what these blooms are geometric patterns of sound waves.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
That are vibrating on a metal plate.
Really?
Of different vowel sounds.
Mm-hmm.
And different instruments going through sand, and they photograph them and they make these geometric patterns. So the blooms are actually sound waves, and so I called them sound blooms. So I took the photographs of the sound blooms, cut them out, and glued them on the tree.
Really?
Mm-hmm. And so that's what this piece is about.
That's amazing.
Thank you. And it looks like stained glass when it's in person.
Yeah.
It's got a stained glass quality.
There's quite a story associated with that, for sure.
Yeah, that's what I like to do, is get into the metaphysical or the spiritual or the sacred part of things.
Yeah.
This piece here I did for Camelback too, and it's Camelback Mountain, an outline of Camelback Mountain. And then I took golf balls and superimposed them, oversized them and superimposed them. You can't really tell by this photograph very well, but
oh, yeah.
Put them in there, and then they're up floating in the sky too.
So golf is really popular out there.
Yes, with all the resorts.
Yeah.
Yes. So I started out working with a designer about 5 years ago, and the first piece that I did was for Marriott in Orlando. And they commissioned me to do this piece. And it's the sacred symbols of golf. And the designer liked the book, The Zen of Golf.
Zen of Golf.
Yes, and so I decided to
What is this at the top, these clouds?
The clouds represent the spiritual side, and
okay.
these are golf balls, and they've got geometric, spiritual geometry in them, sacred geometry in them. Like this is the metronon, this is the they're just different versions of the metronon. This is the main metronon here. Metronon is an angel that guides people through the fourth dimension from the third dimension.
Which is time.
Yes.
Is that Greek mythology?
No, it's actually not mythology at all. It's spiritual philosophies.
Really?
Yeah. I've studied a lot of it during the years.
That's good.
So,
You're quite an expert at a lot of things like this.
No, I don't know, but
And at the bottom, articles about golf events. And
quotes and different things people say, like get a grip, top performance, keep calm and carry on, trust, things related to keeping your zen about golf.
And you just focus on combining painting, drawing, texturing, and all of that to get the final product of the art that you do.
Yeah, what happened was about 30 years ago, I was painting, and I did this painting. I still have the painting, but it's just acrylic paint.
Really?
And I don't know if I have a picture of it or not. Let me see. I may have one in here. Anyway, it's an acrylic painting, and I took it to a gallerist, a lady that owned a gallery, to get her opinion on it because I wanted to be in a gallery, and she worked with designers, and I used to work for her a long time ago. And she said, "Oh, you're just pushing paint around there." And it really kind of hurt my feelings. I'm pretty sensitive, you know, and I thought, oh my gosh, I'm just pushing paint around. Well, in a way that was good for me because it made me get into depth and textures and layers. And what I love to do is build layers. And what happened was I was building layers externally on top of a surface where you lay things down and you build them up.
Yeah.
And then I thought, well, what if I built them where you can look in the piece and see inside it instead of seeing things just laying on top? So I developed a process, and this process here, where things are underneath.
Oh, really?
See, this is columns in this hydrogen, electric, and stars and lights piece. There's a ride from one of the amusement parks superimposed on this building with columns.
Oh, okay.
Same here. So that's what I meant with the depth, looking into the piece and seeing things.
Now, is that this
Plastilaki.
process?
Plastilaki, yeah, I coined it. Which I do is I take plastic and I print on it.
Print on that.
I print on the plastic.
Yeah.
And then I layer that
Layer on top of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good idea. And it gives more depth to it, I guess.
Yes, transparency.
What is the name of this?
A hydrogen, electric, stars, and lights.
Okay.
And this was done for University of Texas, Lubbock,
Oh, really?
for their student union building. It's 4 foot by 5 foot.
You've done art around the country, New York, Florida, California, Texas.
Yes, Massachusetts.
You've worked for various universities? Or,
I just did the UT at
UT.
Lubbock piece for them.
Oh,
But other
okay,
than that,
okay.
most of my commissions are high-end commercial.
hotels, big hotel chains. That's great.
Yes.
I enjoyed seeing the way your art is categorized. You talk about the gardens, sacred spaces, and sacred symbols.
Yeah, what I did on my website was I divided it into different categories, and I consider everything as sacred, so that's why I call everything sacred. So sacred gardens have elements of plants or vegetation, and they're all mixed media. Everything I do is mixed media now.
Yeah.
So, and then the spaces are maybe more in developed landscapes. Symbols are symbolic pieces of.
Do some of those symbols come from Greek and Roman mythology? Or?
Some of them more of them, they come from mystical or spiritual.
Okay.
There's a few of them that have, there's a few of them that do come from mythology, but most of them are mixed media with, some of them are Christianity signs, some of them are Judaic, some of them are Buddhist signs.
I like that.
This one's Goddess Rising, and it's got a lot of different images. This is where I use the Plastilaki technique, where things are layered, where you look in them.
What does the number 8 represent?
Well, 8 can represent infinity because it's a double loop.
Really?
So it's infinity.
Just keeps going like a racetrack.
Yeah, exactly. So.
And 2, the number 2, I notice is upside down.
Yeah, there's a right side up and an upside down. I guess it depends on how you hang it, but.
That represents duality, or
Exactly, you're picking up on it. And this is the symbol of Christ, an ancient symbol of Christ, which Christ was depicted as a bird, a winged character.
really,
So that's an ancient symbol of
like
Christ.
when he was crucified.
I think, yeah, after he was resurrected, the resurrection, that was how he was
Depicted.
correct.
What is the name of this slide?
Goddess Rising.
Oh, okay.
This is
Sheet music as part of the.
in the part of the background. This is greetings, fellow cosmic travelers. A world is full, a swirl of wondrous things. So, because I like to have fun with my art too.
Sure.
So I like greetings, fellow cosmic travelers. Like if somebody was visiting here from another planet. You know, it's like, greetings, fellow cosmic travelers. This is Rishi, and he is I think a Hindu god.
Believe in the strange.
I believe in the strangest of things, strangest geometry.
What are these symbols?
These are, this is off of an old antique bulletin board.
Oh, really?
So I'm not sure what they are, but I liked the scratch, the scratch of them, the scratch.
And it's like bicycle wheels in different arrangements?
This is a metronome symbol here too.
Really?
So this is a geometric symbol, and Rishi he's 4-dimensional. He's got 4
sides?
yes, and then he's standing on one leg.
That's
Nautilus.
Nautilus. But that's some kind of dragon?
Yeah, that's the dragon. And dragons, in my early work, I used a lot of dragons. Dragons are good luck.
Really? Do you think dragons existed on Earth?
You know, that's a good question. I think maybe some ancient people may have thought dinosaurs were like dragons,
Yeah.
maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
Or maybe a conceptual thing.
They look so much alike. and
Yeah, so maybe that was part of it. I don't know. It's hard to say. There's a lot of things, still mysteries we don't know about Earth. You know, I think as science, we think we know everything, but we really don't.
I like this one. What is this called?
This is called the Keys to the Kingdom. This is a locksmith. It's a sign from in San Antonio. I took a photo of this sign. It was about 5 feet. No, it's probably about 7 feet long, and I loved it. I thought it was so neat.
What does that say?
J. Ross Bowles Company Locksmith.
Oh, okay.
So it's a three-dimensional key sign,
Yeah.
and it's a play on the keys to the kingdom, the keys to Earth, the keys to where we live. I like to do things that are deep, that make people think.
That's an owl.
Yeah, wisdom,
Wisdom.
building or behind it.
And a P.
P-O-O-R.
P-O-O-R.
Yeah, the R is backwards.
And the P is sideways.
Yeah, it's blessed are the poor.
And
So
then again, music notes.
Yeah, the keys to the kingdom are blessed are the poor. This is I transform by magic. It's
Coins from around the world.
Actually, they're just geometric symbols. They're not coins.
Oh.
This one is the golden mean.
I guess a lot of coins have geometric symbols.
Especially the ancient ones.
Yeah. Keep mum.
This is from an old poster from the World War II when they were saying loose lips sink ships. You know, don't talk on the phone about secrets or things because you never know who's going to be listening, which back then it's like, hello, who was listening? But now it's like they do listen.
Yeah.
Really do. And so it was keep mum, and the other side was I liked her, and I thought, well, this is a real drama queen type thing. So
What is this? It's like a clock?
yeah, they're backwards clocks.
Backwards clocks?
Yes. And
That almost looks like a big bass drum.
it does, but you're musically inclined, so yes.
And these are round symbols of
Those are actually marbles.
marbles. Okay.
Photographs of marbles. So she's lost her marbles. She's a drama queen and she has to keep quiet. So she's going backwards in time.
Yeah.
This is reach out of the darkness. There's hands on the sides and they're reaching into the light. This is like the phases of the moon.
Now I noticed this.
That's the symbol of the Kabbalah.
What does that mean?
The Kabbalah is a part of Jewish mysticism, and this is actually the tree of life, a symbol of the tree of life.
And that's like a spear?
Yes, these are all actually. It's very perceptive of you because these circles are called spheroids.
Really?
Yeah, they're spheres, and this is Malkut. This is the earth, and this is the crown. This is heaven. And in Kabbalistic mysticism, you have to go through all these different spheres to get to God.
Oh, really?
This is one of my favorite pieces. It's an old illustration of Uncle Sam, and Uncle Sam is kicking this kid, this taxpayer in the butt, in the bum, I should say. I shouldn't say butt anyway. And it says Uncle Sam's infallible remedy for rebellious complaints. So I love this illustration. It's called Rebellious Uncle Sam. Uncle Sam is the symbol for the United States government.
The government, yeah.
Right. And he's kicking the taxpayer in the rear.
I've never seen that particular depiction of Uncle Sam. What is that, a clan?
Oh, that's part of the word physician. C-I-A-N.
C-I-A-N.
Physician, I cut it off. And this is a crossword puzzle.
A crossword puzzle.
And this is a paintings that I cut up and just.
I thought it was the top of an apple pie.
It looks like that, doesn't it? See,
Think about food.
I know. Are you hungry? This is Rembrandt's monkey. There's a monkey here, and there's Rembrandt's.
Did he really have a monkey?
No, but this was taken from one of the exhibitions that he was in, and I'm not sure how it showed up, but I don't remember the history of it. But I thought it was cute, and I thought it was pretty funny, so I incorporated it into this piece.
When did he live?
I guess it was about 120 years ago. He passed away, I think, the end of last century.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Don't hold me to that, though. Retrieved from crash. This is from an old UFO type illustration. We came in peace for all mankind. That was what they said. I want to say Apollo 11 not when he stepped foot on the moon, but later on maybe, I'm not sure. But this guy is studying. He's a student and he's sitting down at a desk, and behind him is a maps, and so this is him seeing the way he's going to look in the future.
Oh, yeah.
So he's looking at himself in the future.
Retrieved from crash.
Retrieved from crash.
And that symbol there again?
This is the metronon.
Metronon.
Mm-hmm.
Does that represent part of his spirit or something? That shadowy figure
Oh,
there?
that's the universal symbol for men.
Oh, uh-huh.
For like icons for men.
Yeah.
Like restrooms and things like that. So, yeah, it's above him. It's a symbol of him becoming a whole man.
That's nice.
Dreaming of distant lands. So this is a dream. When we dream at night, when we leave our bodies. Sometimes we leave our bodies at night. Some people do, and it's called astral projection. But we always have a silver cord tying to our body, and so that's what this cord is here. The string. It's an actual string, but it's tied to this body, the dream body, the real body, and that this is what she's dreaming about. She's dreaming about this distant land, and there's an island here, and vegetation, and...
Are those like snowflakes, or?
No, they're just flowers on the island. You know, dreams are can be very fragmented. When you remember them, you only remember bits and pieces. So it's like
parts.
These are fragments of our dream. This is like the ocean and the water. And
Is that like a reality behind the dream or something?
it could be. It could be.
What are those two spears there for? They almost look like eyes.
Yeah, they are. Like being able to see.
Dark.
Like when you're asleep, your eyes are closed.
Yeah.
This one's called Standard Operations, Standard Heads, Deluxe Dreams. It's very symbolic about, this is off of an old Russian magazine.
Really?
And she's going, our standard heads are filled with deluxe dreams. Well, the dream is about liberty.
Yeah.
Statue of Liberty.
Statue of
So she's
Liberty.
dreaming about, do we have realistic expectations about liberty, or is liberty falling over, or what? So if we think, I like to do pieces that get people to think.
Yeah.
So if we think about filling our heads with just standard ideas, and we just go through our rote in our lives, then nothing gets really created. It's becomes stale and unimaginative. And so we want to fill our heads with deluxe dreams, with imagination, with creativity, which we're always creating anyway. But anyway, I get off on a tangent sometimes.
No, that's good. I appreciate that. I was looking at that earlier today, and I was very impressed with the impact that it had.
I did this back when George Bush was president because I thought how cool it would be. He reminded me of the big Texan sign, the steakhouse.
Yeah.
Out in front of, when you come into Amarillo, right in the Amarillo city limits, there's that big Texan sign. It's the big Texan
Oh, really?
steakhouse. And you can get a 96 ounce steak. If you eat it all, you can get it for free.
Really?
So this is Big Texan transform, because everything when he was president, everything was like so much about him, and it was so much about his president. And I'm not bashing him. This is not a George Bush bash. It was just he could do no wrong when he was president. And so I thought, wouldn't it be cool to transform that, to just get down to the realism of it. So that's what this piece is about, and the yin and the yang.
Yeah.
What's really real here?
Now, what are these?
These are this is like blooming,
Yeah.
like a nuclear bloom, flowers and blooms and plants. So it's like you're transforming the facade into something organic.
Yeah.
So it's the media facade becoming organic again, becoming a blooming living thing instead of it just being perpetually celluloid, reproducing the same idea over and over again. It's about becoming transformative. A lot of my pieces are about transformation.
Do you watch much television?
I do.
Does that influence you or inspire you to create some things you see on TV? I
Yeah,
guess?
they do.
Yeah,
Movies
yeah.
do too.
Movies, yeah.
And music,
Really?
definitely.
Certain pieces of music make you want to do
Definitely.
another set of. Really, that's good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Everything influences me, everything. So, I mean, I can pick up something when I'm walking my dog and incorporate it into my art.
Yeah.
That's the beauty about being an artist.
When did you know you would devote your life to art?
Devote my life probably about 14 years ago when I stopped working in IT.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I had a car accident and I fell down a flight of stairs and I was injured. I could not work. And
Sorry to hear that.
well, that's okay because it brought me to where I'm at.
Brought you to art.
Yeah,
That's a good way to recoup and turn
It
your life
was.
around.
It was. I was healing and it healed me. It was a beautiful process. And so now I have a business doing it.
That's great. I really do appreciate you being here today and sharing
Thank
your
you.
art with us.
Thank you.
And thank you so much for watching the show. We hope you enjoyed it and have a great day.
Thank you.